So what is Florida Man? Well, Florida Man is any news story that begins with a Florida man was seen or caught doing some jackassian thing so weird, so perverse that you can't believe that it's true. But why Florida? Well, there are reasons for this, and tonight I'm going to tell you why. Thanks to our sunshine law, anyone can request public documents in Florida. So this means police records. So this is how we hear about you knuckleheads out there. As of 2014, Florida is the third most populous state. California is first, Texas is second. So now we have more people, more traffic, and more times I'd like to punch somebody in the face. There's a lot of chances to go skinny dipping here. You can meet a shark, a snake, a gator. It's hot all year round. We wear less clothes, we drink more booze, and we get hit by lightning. So, thanks to all the tourists, I'm stuck in traffic, it's thundering, and a python just took my parking space. Our first Florida man happened in 1931. Carl Tanzler lived in Key West. He worked at the hospital and was obsessed with this young tuberculosis patient. Well, she died, but 2 years later, he dug up her body, brought it home, stuffed it, and lived with her corpse for 7 years. A Florida man removes his facial gang tattoos with a welding grinder. This guy, Eric from Clearwater, bought gauze and hydrogen peroxide. He asked his friend Brian to do it because Brian was, wait for it, a certified welder. Sorry, ladies, he's taken. This Florida woman got to keep her 6-foot-long clothes-wearing motorbike-riding gator named Rambo. She was told her gator would have to be moved to a larger property or surrendered to authorities. And she says, he's like my son. He's my family. He's never been normal, and neither have you, girlfriend. A Florida man tossed a live 3.5-foot-long gator through the drive-through window at Wendy's. He was charged with, among other things, assault with a deadly weapon, the gator. He was arrested and posted bond, was banned from all Wendy's. What a supersized jackass he was. A Florida man bought a scuba tank, wanted to use an air compressor to feed marijuana smoke into the tank, then use the scuba regulator to inhale it. So when showing this to friends, he fell. The tank exploded, sending shrapnel into his scrotum, cleanly severing his, it's for real. A Florida man was found dead and naked lying across the back of a killer whale here at SeaWorld Orlando. It was said this animal is demented. Keeping them in small concrete boxes and making them do stupid animal tricks makes them angry and dangerous. And I say, hey, what about the killer whale, right? So this Florida man, oh Lord, he tried to cash a check for $368 billion. His dream was to own the biggest restaurant on earth. It was going to be 80 million square feet, be able to serve 30 million people all at the same time and be totally underwater. This Florida man went berserk and chewed the face off of a homeless guy in Miami before he was shot to death by police. So everyone thought the zombie was high on bath salts, but it was only marijuana. To prevent another zombie apocalypse, President Obama banned bath salt drugs. So these Florida man stories are true. They were sourced from police records and newspapers. And speaking of truth, when I was a kid, we watched Walter Cronkite, the most trusted man in America, as mentioned earlier. And remember his tagline? And that's the way it is. So nowadays, who do you trust for news? Well, now the news is 24/7. The more clicks a website gets, the more money and a bigger buzz. It's addictive, either in reading this visual junk food or hoping for more likes on your Facebook page. Did you know that scientists say it's exactly like snorting crack cocaine? Okay, I made that up. It was an alternative fact. So which is better for you, junk food or kale? Now use your head, okay? You don't have to agree that kale tastes good, but you do have to accept that it's better for you. So in other words, you are entitled to your own opinion, but not entitled to your own facts. So which is real and which is fake? You know, when JFK was shot in 1963, I just turned 8 years old. So even back then, I knew that Ted Cruz's old man had nothing to do with this. People will believe anything on the World Wide Web. And speaking of facts, I'd like to thank a few people tonight who helped me write this show, ladies and gentlemen. As a comedian, when I'm writing material, it's always based in reality and then exaggerated to point out the ridiculousness. Unlike Florida Man, where the truth is funnier than fiction. But what happens when there's no truth? Well, for instance, Sean Spicer said that was the largest audience to witness an inauguration, period. And I say, well, looky here, Sean. Look at there. And Kellyanne Conway with the Bowling Green, Kentucky massacre. People in Kentucky are going, I don't know what you're... This is the worst pants on fire lie. That was when Trump said, and I quote, terrorism and terrorist attacks in the United States and Europe have gotten to a point where it's not even being reported, unquote. This statement really hit home. Tell that to our Pulse nightclub survivors and families. So the truth is under attack. That's why there are so many fake news stories on the web, so much junk food that's masquerading as real news. Those fake news stories are to make the real, legit source news look trivial. Don't eat it, don't buy it, don't click on it. So everything I've told you tonight was the truth. It's important to me, and I hope it's just as important to you. And the truth is, I'm very proud to be a native Floridian, and that's the way it is. Friday, May 26, 2017. I'm Jill Shargaa. Thank you and good night.